We have the advantage.
Yeah. That's actually a great example of a first kill right there, and the reason why they want to do what they're doing here. Shooting bodies and push. I'm waiting for you. Push me. Come on, Rolly boy, push. Fucking idiot. Yep. Yeah, and now I'm gonna leave so you can't avenge shit. Sorry, he shot my body. I'm just giving him a taste of his own medicine. Watch your fucking mouth. Hopefully I can get into like a nice, calm game where there's not like a whole bunch of shit going on so I can like talk about this. So, first of all, you ever have a dream or a nightmare, I guess, or just like a night of sleep where because of the dreams slash nightmares that you're having, you end up waking up exhausted because your mind had been racing the entire night about some shit that's not even like actually real? I was having this dream where I think I was living in my house, or it was kind of like my house, but it was a little bit bigger, and there was like secret compartments and secret rooms and shit. And underneath of my house led into like this huge, massive cavernous space that housed like a whole bunch of like monsters and shit. And for some reason, I had to keep going down there in order to get to the other side of the cavern where there was another group of people that were trying to figure out how to solve the issue. And me and them had to come together in order to do it. But for some reason, I was the unlucky one that had to keep going through this crazy, creepy, dark, cavernous space to make it to the other side. And then I found out on the other side where the people were like trying to, you know, help us and shit. Some of them were like working with the monsters or some bullshit like that. I don't even know. I don't know what was happening, but I woke up fucking exhausted because of it now. So forgive the lack of energy. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like some of them were like gargoyles and shit. So yesterday, a clip of Testy's video ended up floating around where he was just absolutely destroying people like the typical, you know, Testy shit that Testy does. After this man had played Call of Duty for years upon years upon years to make him get as good as he is. I'm not really sure of like the entire context. I don't know if there was like an argument or some shit or not. I have no idea. All I know is that like Testy's clip was going around on Twitter, and some people that don't like snipers ended up adding Tony Flame. Tony Flame, I'm assuming, is like the new guy in David Vonderhaar's place. I follow him and everything, and he seems cool to me. Let me look at Testy's timeline. He actually replied to it. That's how I saw it. Okay, so Thunder tweets out, "Thank God Testament was on my team this match. I would have legit stroked out against this cheese." Testy ended up replying, "Nah, you should thank me that I wasn't red gunning. You just can't complain about snipers when you have red guns in the game. You just gotta be better." And this is just like the classic thing between like red gunners versus snipers. Both of us think that their style of playing is cheesy in their own ways, and some people think one is easy, the other one thinks the other is hard. Assuming after Testy replied to it, and just like the video ended up getting a whole like enough retweets and likes and shit like that, Tony Flame ends up replying to it and says, "Snipers have gotten some love as of late. We're discussing increasing their flinch to balance out situations where they didn't get the drop. Sucks to get one-shotted while you're emptying an entire clip into them. Mixed opinions, I'm sure, but it just might be the right thing to do." Basically, in that clip, it's just typical Testy, you know, gameplay every single day. To me, it doesn't seem like anything ridiculous, or, well, I mean, it's ridiculous, but I'm used to seeing it, okay? So, to me, it doesn't, like, stand out as this shit where it just seems impossible to counter, and it just seems like the guy is just unkillable and all this other shit. Like, I literally watch every single player, no matter how good they are, live and die multiple times every single day in multiplayer. It's just, there's no one that's running around not dying ever. There's no one that's running around that actually has no risk of dying at all. It's all dependent on your playstyle and how good you are, obviously. Right here, I'm sad because I didn't realize that little piece right there was a head until I went to go take the shot at it, and fucking third guy came around. So I can see where Tony's coming from, okay? So in the clip, Testy just, you know, quick scopes a couple guys, and then on the third guy, there's a dude that ended up getting the drop on Testy, and the dude ended up hitting Testy about, I would say, 2 to 3 times. You can see him taking damage, and Testy scopes in and turns, and is able to hit him, flinch and all. Currently what our flinch is anyway. Which, by the way, when you're getting shot, you always make this small adjustment to shoot a little bit lower because your character, for whatever reason, gets, you know, they headbang every time they get shot. And Testy, as he's getting shot, adjusts and ends up shooting him. Now, right there in the video is probably where most people are looking at it like, okay, that's a little ridiculous. I'd be so annoyed if I were that guy dumping a clip into this dude and then he was just able to turn and then just one-shot me. In my eyes, it was like, damn, dude, you just got fucking owned, okay? Because that's a hard shot to land. It seriously is. 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna die if you're in the middle of getting shot, unless you've practiced this. Now, this is where it comes down to, and where Tony is actually, you know, pretty transparent on, like, which side he's on here. He says that maybe the flinch should be something that is added to the game. Or not added to the game, it's already in the game, he just wants more flinch. Honestly, prefer maybe, like, a perk that made it so the flinch isn't so bad, specifically with sniper rifles somehow, or even just, like, an attachment or some shit. Instead, I would totally just take off fucking FMJ and put whatever it is on there. Maybe move it over to stabilizer, give Koshka a stabilizer or some shit like that, I don't know. Less flinch when shot or some shit like that. Make us pay for it in some way, shape, or form. And if we truly don't want to deal with the flinch, you know, be able to put like, you know, some sort of attachment to be able to remedy it or something. Now, that's probably not going to happen. And the reality of it is it's probably just going to be as simple as, hey, yep, we just increase flinch while ADSing in all sniper rifles, and it's that simple. It's literally at this point been like a decade-long argument. Whether quick scoping is cheap, whether, you know, red gunning is easy, red gunning's hard, is sniping easy, is sniping hard. I think most of the time it's just the fact that they're just annoyed. People are just annoyed at things that work in the game. People get sniped, they don't understand it, they just scream, you know, OP or some shit like that. Now, obviously, that wasn't the entire conversation right here, but that's what's said a lot of the time between people that are just really hateful. They don't want to have a conversation, they just say some stupid shit and they're just like really ignorant about it.
We're taking control.
Stop, put the sniper rifle down, dog. See, shit like that, that dude was just sitting there in the back just trying to, like, that's just not an effective way to play with it. It's pretty crazy the stories that people come up with where they're saying shit like, on Black Ops 4, man, the sniping is the easiest it's ever been. Like, dude, okay, first of all, it's arguably one of the harder ones. As far as the learning curve goes anyway, it was a pretty hard time, honestly. I had a very, very hard time. As someone that's in FaZe, as somebody that has been sniping for years, I had a pretty hard time adjusting to Black Ops 4 sniping. I had to snipe in a completely different style and way, where this way that is played on this game, if you tried to play this Call of Duty the way that you would usually play, I don't know, MW2, MW3, MWR, Black Ops 3 even, you will get fucking destroyed. I had to completely adjust my playstyle and my expectations on this game of like what is a clip and all this other shit. I had to adjust all that for the sake of my own just mentality here before I was thinking that I was just completely washed. I was getting fucking destroyed when the game came out. I didn't really understand the pacing. I didn't understand like where the strengths and weaknesses of my sniper rifle landed. It all just felt like I was just weaker and I didn't stand a chance. The flinch was everywhere. All the guns killed me in like 3 to 4 bullets. Yeah, you have extra bullets, but that also means with the extra HP and damage that I'm able to take, the more flinch I'm dealing with. Especially with the amount of people that are using ramparts and high cals and shit like that. Half the time I'm not even gonna end up seeing it. I just get shot instantly and die. The thing is though, is that guy can keep shooting and I just have to keep rechambering one bullet, you know? I think definitely the most optimal way to play Call of Duty, and it always has been, red gunning using the best assault rifles and submachine guns and any other thing that's in the game as far as specialists or whatever, depending on what Call of Duty we're playing here. The most optimal way has always been to try to find the best SMGs, the best ARs, the best everything, and sniper rifles have almost never fit into the category of a best in slot main weapon to use at all times. The secondary, sure. Is it viable? For sure, 100%. But to run around with it, no. It is not the viable way to play the game. Also, the clip that is used is literally from a player that is considered one of, if not the best sniper. Not the gun, the player. Do this. Like, you'll see a whole bunch of people say things like, oh yeah, man, I picked up a sniper rifle and did well with it. No problem. I would like to actually see the clip that you think that you are hitting with this thing. I'm gonna be a little blunt here for anybody that was saying like, oh, I picked up a sniper rifle and I did immediately just better with it than I did with any red gun I've ever done up to this point. You're just full of shit. You really are. And if you, okay, maybe you don't think you're full of shit. Maybe you think you're actually like telling the truth here. But I would like to see what you think is actually a clip before you tell me you were hitting clips with the sniper rifle just by picking it up and playing. I would love to see what you think a clip is, because I can guarantee you this dude ended up getting like a 3-piece or some shit, got like 2 reactions from somebody in game, and thought he was like on his way to FaZe or some shit. Now, with all of that said, past the argument, whatever. Tony, end of the day, man, whether they want you to nerf this shit or not, whether you're going to nerf this shit or not, fuck it! Bring it then, Tony! I've been through hell and back on this Call of Duty series. I don't give a fuck! I have gone through Black Ops 1, pre-patch Black Ops 1 sniping, okay? That is the hardest sniping in all of Call of Duty, period. Black Ops 1 sniping is the hardest sniping, period. Yes, it had aim assist, but it had the sway, it had 2 or 3 different iterations of patches that you had to readjust to each and every single time that patch came out. I mean, to be fair, in typical Call of Duty fashion, there are not many updates, but Tony had some other replies too, hold on. Pamaj replied to Tony's, you know, original tweet where he said, snipers have gotten loved as of late, we're discussing increasing their flinch to balance out the situations where they didn't get the drop. Pamaj says, so we're pretending like snipers aren't already at a disadvantage because of no aim assist? Y'all understand how many years of practice it takes to make sniping look unbalanced and unfair in a game where it's already favored towards the regular weapons? Tony says, this was an exercise in transparency, sharing some hot topics going around the design team here after a week of bare bones, also to give the community a chance to provide feedback. More snipers have migrated to bare bones than usual, so we're working to balance that out. Thank you all. So he's citing the reason that he wants to nerf it is because there was an influx of people in a certain game mode? So what, are you gonna nerf snipers in just bare bones or something? The reason why there are way more snipers in bare bones is because the snipers are usually actually good players that don't want to deal with shit. It's the same way that when you look at a lot of these bare bones lobbies and you end up seeing like a shit ton of sweaty teams. They're all sweaty teams because they're good players and they don't want to deal with any of the bullshit. That's why bare bones was added, right? So now what? The snipers are punished for going and actually playing in bare bones or what? Like literally that clip is a culmination of potentially hours and hours and hours that guy was playing testing. Like that one single clip was literally the play of the game. The rest of the game, I'm not gonna say he was getting fucking owned during the whole thing because I play with him on a regular basis. He does well all the time, but this dude has literally devoted his life to it. Of course he's gonna do well with it. Any good notable sniper in this entire community have put a lifetime's worth of just hours and hours and hours into just using the sniper rifles on these games. Using new attachments, using new ways to play the game, going for nuclears, going for gameplays and clips and shit. All of that stuff is a learning process that we just sit there and hard commit to. It's like anybody else that wants to be good at the fucking game, and we may be getting punished for it. Maybe. I'm not gonna say for sure. I'm not gonna say it's guaranteed or anything like that, but flinch is already annoying. I would love flinch just removed completely. And I'm aware if you do make the attachment or the, you know, perk or whatever to get less flinch whenever shot, I am aware that it may become an actual like crutch perk slash attachment that everybody ends up using. I get that. That's why I feel like flinch just shouldn't be in the game. I mean, there's the whole flinch argument whether it should even be in the game or not. A lot of pros don't even think so, and those guys are obviously red gunning half the time, so it's not just for me to, you know, be able to benefit in some way, shape, or form. Of course I'm going to benefit, but everybody benefits. I don't even think flinch belongs in the game to begin with. See, Tessie even has a video. It's called When a FaZe Sniper Uses Red Guns or some shit.
Drone squad awaiting orders.
How hard?
Yeah, well, how hard am I gonna sit on this? I don't know, man. I'm just using an AR. This is fair, right? Yo, why does the drone squad do absolutely fuck all half the time? Sometimes it sits there and will kill somebody that's just minding their own business, and then they'll let the other dude literally bend me over right in front of the little robot eyes. And see, that's what you do when you just don't like the lobby or the people you're playing against. I'm just leaving. Tony, I'm looking at you in the eyes right now. Do your fucking worst, man. Bring it on. I'm literally gonna continue doing the same thing, and you're probably still gonna get the same people in your mentions saying the same shit. Fuck it, Tony! Nerf it all! Remove it! Fuck it! You remove sniper rifles, I guarantee you're gonna see me in hardcore with a single shot Mozu. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Enjoy. I got pussy in my